I'm not motivated. It's self-discipline. Hey, I get to go to the gym. Like, nobody does that.
How do you get absolutely jacked? Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We have a special guest who's actually my younger sister, and her name is
Mel.
You guys have probably seen her in past videos. She's big sis Mel. Well, she's actually my little sister, but she's big sis Mel, you know what I'm saying? Now, first of all, if we sound like a little bit like raspy as hell, it's because we have COVID right now.
We're just getting over COVID.
Yes, we're getting over it. It's getting better. Anyways, so I thought a fun video for this week. I can't do anything too active. We're isolating. There's not too much to do. I thought a good video idea would be to get my sister on here, just ask her some questions, give some advice to you guys about just lifting. She's been lifting for quite some time now, and she's absolutely jacked. I'll put in some pictures from her Instagram.
Nice.
So, Mel, before we get into the questions, and these questions just like commonly asked questions that people ask me, you know, that I meet in the gym, friends, family. So, but before we get into them, why don't you just tell us about like how long you've been training for?
I started training like at the start of COVID. So it was like March 2020. I was really bored and I just started off with like little workouts here and there. So now it's been a few years. Obviously, I have developed from then. But yeah, that's basically how long I've been training for. So now it's like April 2022. So like a little bit over 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while now. I feel like my hair looks like dog ass.
No, you're good.
We're gonna get into some juicy questions now. Mel knows a lot, so she's just gonna share everything she knows.
Is, like, based off of what you know. So
no, she's learned a lot. You want to just jump right into those questions?
Yeah, I want to jump into them.
All right. So the first question we have for you today is, are you worried about people judging you in the gym?
I used to be, but I first started working out in a home gym, so I never really had that problem with having to have people judge me. So then when I first got my gym membership in November, I was kind of like worried, yeah, are people going to judge me? But at that point, since I've been working out at home for so long, I already kind of knew what I was doing, so I knew that people weren't really going to judge me. But even if you don't know what you're doing, like, nobody really cares about what you're doing in the gym. Like, everybody's just focused on their self and their own goals. So really, if somebody's there judging you, then they probably have, like, their own insecurities. So yeah, no, don't worry about it.
So that's a great answer right there. If somebody is judging you, definitely it's a reflection of something they're insecure about for sure. How do you have such a crazy bench? Like, she has a bench PR right now of 140 pounds, which is insane. Like, you're 17, right?
Thanks.
She's literally, I know how old you are. She's 17. She's been benching for almost 2 years, would you say? A year and a half?
A year and a half, I'd say.
A year and a half, and has a 140 bench, which is crazy. Just being able to build a big bench is a really hard thing to do. It's been a hard thing for me. She can bench way more than me. And so do you have any tips of how you got that bench?
I've always just liked training upper body way better than lower body. But honestly, the key is to do it a lot. Just bench a lot. Like, I literally in my home gym, we only really have like a bench. So like when I first started working out, I would literally bench like 3 times a week.
That sketchy bench.
Yeah, really sketchy bench. But I would be benching like 3, almost 4 times a week. Like, I would literally bench so much. So that's how you up your bench. And I literally started off with benching like 65 pounds. And like, I tell this to everybody and they're like, what? Like, you only benched like 65? But yeah, it's true. Like, you can't start off just benching like, you know, a plate. Like, that's just not what's going to happen. So start off really little and just do it a lot. Anything that's like you want to get really good at, just do it a lot.
That's awesome. It's so true. You just got to be consistent with it, I feel like.
Yeah, I just have to keep doing it.
So the next question we have here is, what do you do when you really don't feel like going to the gym?
That's like every single like leg day, basically, is what you're asking. Basically, you just kind of go. Like, you just, you know, like, yeah, nobody feels like doing it because it is work. It's not like the easiest thing ever. But as soon as you get in there, you see your gym friends, you see your buddies, like, and you just have at it. Like, that's about it. Or if you don't even see your friends, you just see like the bench or the squat rack, and you're like,
you see that barbell and you're like,
you just want to go for it. Yeah, like, obviously if there's days where like you feel like physically not well, like, you know, you're really not, then just skip it. Like, one day is not gonna affect anything. But if you're just mentally like, yeah, I don't feel like it, it's not really about motivation. It's just about self-discipline. It's like something you just have to do. You just gotta do it.
I really like that comment you made about the difference of it being a mental thing versus a physical thing. If you're physically, or if you're injured, like something like that, or if you're physically sick, something like that, and you can't go, that's different. Like, take some rest.
Completely different.
Yeah, but if you can tell it's a mental thing, then we all have those days, and it's about self-discipline at the end of the day. So
it's just like brushing your teeth. Like, nobody feels like doing it at, you know, like when they're nice and cuddly in their bed, and then they're like, oh shoot, like I have to brush my teeth. Like, you just gotta do it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, she's a beast. Next one is, how do you get absolutely jacked? Like, your arms are huge, your delts, like, I feel like that's what you're known for. It's like your delts and arms, probably, right? Eh? So what advice would you give to people? Just like, how do you grow your muscles, and like how have you been able to do that?
That's kind of a tough question because it depends on people's genetics. Like, for me, like, I'm not really that jacked. Like, my lower body,
yes, you are.
like, my lower body is different because I'm just genetically, like, my upper body's just more toned, just my genetics. But if you're just, you know, the average person will get jacked by going to the gym and eating food. So just keep working out and going to the gym, and you will see results, and eat enough food. It just comes down to consistency within, like, your diet and training.
Would you say that you did anything specifically for, like, your delts and your arms? Like, what do you do? What's the rep range and stuff like that, and times a week that you train those?
Right now I train shoulders on a separate day, and then, like, I do chest and triceps on a separate day, and I probably do, like, shoulders twice a week and tris and pecs twice a week as well. But
I heard twice a week is that sweet spot for, like, your different muscles twice a week.
Yeah, that's why they say you shouldn't do, if you've ever heard of, like, the bro split.
Yeah, because that's once a week.
Yeah, they say don't do that because you're only hitting it once a week. Yeah. But usually I do, like, 8 to 12, even, like, 6 to 12 I do too. Just as soon as I hit 12 reps, I just up the weight. That's all I really go by.
Next question. Now, this is something that I see a lot of just like TikToks videos made about is body dysmorphia. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically, even though you can be in amazing shape, you can be very healthy, the healthiest you've been, the strongest you've been, all that stuff, but still you look in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see. You still find flaws in yourself, and you really just don't like the way that your body looks. You think you're fat when you're not. You could think, you're not muscular when you are, and just a whole bunch of things. And I feel like that's something that I've definitely struggled with as well, and everybody in the gym, because no matter what, we're all very critical of ourselves, especially when you're trying to put on muscle and you're trying to look a certain way.
So true.
So my question to you is, have you ever struggled with body dysmorphia? And if so, how do you kind of overcome that?
People that are in the gym are bodybuilders, right? So because you're a bodybuilder, you're so focused on what your body looks like, right? You're doing everything, and then you start to see some results, and you're like flexing in the mirror, and you're like so happy. So because you are a bodybuilder, you're gonna be so focused on what your body looks like. So of course I felt like I don't look as jacked as I did in that photo. Like, I had a pump, or I'll even go on Instagram and I'll see other people like super pumped up, shredded, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I used to look like that, but right now I don't. Like, what's wrong with me? Everybody feels like that. Tips to get over it is really just, think about how far you've come and all the work you've put into, and think about like what you're grateful for. Like, I'm so happy that I'm healthy, or I'm so happy that, I look this way. Like, there's always worse. So just know that like the way you look and what you've worked for is valid, and don't be comparing yourself to other people, and you'll be good to go.
That's great advice. Focus on what you're grateful for, and also look at how far that you've come.
Exactly.
For sure. It's well, that's a huge reason. I've mentioned it in other videos of mine as to why I changed from bodybuilding to powerlifting. And it was just, when I was bodybuilding, I was so focused on how I looked. It was like body dysmorphia to the max for me every day, all the time. And with powerlifting, I could have more control over my strength and how I look and stuff like that.
With bodybuilding, like, it's so inevitable that you're going to judge your body, like, so much. But, you can just be in the gym and just trying to like be healthy, and you don't have to have that title as a bodybuilder, like you know, you don't have to be that, but it's just most of us who are at the gym, you know, we care
Very
about
critical.
we like most people at the gym care about what their bodies look like, obviously, so that's why you're gonna feel that way. It's normal.
As a girl, do you ever feel uncomfortable in the gym? Because I know you go to like a co-ed gym, there's guys around, like how do you feel about that?
Of course, like, you know, luckily our gym is pretty small. Like, there's not a lot of people there. If there's any guys, they're usually not that creepy. But of course, there's like situations that I've been in where I've been uncomfortable. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, I have friends there, so I'll just hang out with my friends, and I won't feel so. I don't know.
Having friends to work out with helps.
Yeah, having friends to work out with helps. It does. And people that do have issues, like with being creepy, have their own problems. And those you can even bring up to like some of the workers as well, and they'll have something to say. Like, people can get their membership like taken away.
Yeah, if they're really having an issue.
What about you? Do you feel uncomfortable?
Definitely at the start I was, and the thing is gyms are mostly male dominated for sure. Like, at our gym, it's probably 80%.
There's a lot of girls, though.
Really? I'd say it's like 80% males. At least the time I go, because we go at different times sometimes.
True. There is more males, yeah. Especially my age.
Oh, yeah.
There's more guys, for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is when you're like one of the only girls there, you just feel more like, I don't like the feeling of attention drawn to me. So I don't, you know, kind of like, it's not that I get uncomfortable. I did at first, though, for sure. But then I would always just wear oversized stuff. But then I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to wear a sports bra. Like, you gotta, you know?
I agree.
How do you stay motivated to not miss workouts? And how do you stay so consistent of working out 5 days a week, every week?
Self-discipline.
I'm
not motivated. It's self-discipline.
What's the difference?
So, self-discipline, like I said, it's like brushing your teeth or doing your homework or going to work. You have to do it. Motivation is like, you're gonna wake up and every time you're going to the gym, you're like, yes, finally I get to go to the gym. Like, nobody does that. Like, it's just kind of something you have to do, right?
You just do it. Is it almost like because it's a habit, kind of?
Exactly. It's like a habit. So yeah, I don't believe in that motivation BS. It's literally just you have to do it.
You know what?
I'm only motivated if I'm going with like a friend.
That's a really good point, actually. Like, self-discipline versus motivation.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna cut the crap. Like, obviously, since I'm passionate about like going to the gym, I should be like, oh yeah, like, it's the best thing. You're gonna feel so happy. Yeah, but no, it's not. You just have to do it.
And it is fun. Like, it's definitely a huge, like, for me, it's a huge mental thing, and I just love it for that, as well as just being stronger and being healthier.
Right. Yeah.
But definitely it's work as well, and you have to put in the work. Just like anything, nothing good comes easy, right? Next question. And I have seen a lot of this, especially, you know, on the female side of the fitness industry. Have you ever been told that you look manly? And if so, how do you respond to that? Or if somebody says something like that to you, how do you respond? And how do you kind of go about that?
So to answer the question, I have been told I look manly. And how do I respond to that? Thank you. Like, literally, thank you. Like, that's the goal. Like, thank you. Like, I'm trying to look like bigger.
You're trying to be jacked. Mass is the goal.
Like, at first your instinct would to be like, oh, like, why would somebody say that? Like, what the hell? But then, like, I realized later, like, yo, like, this means that I have some sort of progress if I'm looking different.
You know what? That's a really good point. I never thought about that.
And I know in my heart, or I know to me, that I will never look like a man because I have a female genetic makeup. So anytime somebody says that, like, obviously it's not going to mean anything, but it means that I'm looking different, so I'm doing something right.
That's a great response, because I've always kind of taken it as, you know, like a negative thing, and I felt so, like, offended when people said that. But to take it as a compliment is such a great thing, because you're obviously doing something good.
And be so nice back to them, because then they're going to be all thrown off guard and like, whoa, like,
they're like, oh, I wasn't trying to compliment you.
Yeah, they're going to be so confused, and then they're going to feel like crap. They're going to be like, oh, like, why would I say that? Like, they're gonna start to think about it because, like, you're giving such, like, a reaction they're not expecting.
I like that. It's such a, I'm glad that it's becoming more of, like, it's becoming more, I guess you could say, accepted, where women are becoming more muscular, putting on masks, putting on, you know, all that kind of thing. And we're kind of changing the notion of, oh, women have to be so small and skinny.
Yeah, like
and
the stigmatism behind it, right?
Yeah, and the whole thing of, like, manly versus a womanly look. Like, forget all that. It's just, like, if you have muscle and you're trying to be jacked and that's your goal, and somebody makes a comment based on that, then it's like, oh.
You know, like, they have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do what's best for you. Do you have any tips for somebody who has fallen out of their workout routine? Maybe they just fell out of it. Something came up in their lives. You know, stuff happens. Tips on just getting back into things.
Yeah. So, like, did they not want to work out anymore, or did just, like...
Maybe just something came up, like an injury, or maybe something with school, work, family.
So at that point, you just have to tell yourself that's something you can't control, and you'll get back to it as soon as you can. I mean, like, just right now, like, we have COVID. Like, I can't go to the gym. So, and I did feel pretty bad about it. I was like, damn, like, I'm going to lose gains or whatever. But then, like, I thought to myself, like, I can't control it. And your muscles have memory. So
muscle memory, for sure.
They remember. So for you to build yourself back, even if you took time off for, like, a year, your muscles will get right back to where they were.
That's actually all of our questions, Mel.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining me today on my video.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, if you guys want to see more of Big Mel, let me know. We'll do, next time she's on, we'll do more of, like, a fun, adventurous video, maybe like a workout.
Sure.
Something like that. This was more of just kind of like a sit down, get to know her kind of video. I hope you guys learned some things from it, you know. Do you have any final words that you just want to tell to the viewers out there?
Don't get COVID. No. Honestly, my last words would probably be just keep hitting the gym. Stay consistent.
Stay consistent, keep hitting the gym, don't give up. Thank you guys for watching to the end. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys have a killer day. Bye!
Bye!